we're good
We're
to go
off.
whenever you
All
want.
right. So we've just real quick before we start the official recording,
Okay.
we have roughly 60 minutes, correct?
Yep.
All right. Perfect. I just want to go ahead and say I really like the energy that you bring to all these podcasts, and just across the board, I'm like, this is gonna be super exciting. So I'm really pumped up for that. I'm not sure if you got a chance to delve into any of mine, but they're kind of all over the place, and I'm really pumped up to learn more about your perspective on all the above. So this is gonna be very exciting.
All right. And you're, for the record, a globe believer.
I am not an absolutist in any way anymore.
For sure. But gun to your head right now,
Yeah,
globe or
I'd say
flat?
we still. I
All
would
right.
say so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. 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 Because, by the way, we were all there once. We were all there
Yeah,
once. All
it's
right.
exciting. It's so
Yeah.
exciting. All right.
By the way, your life's over as you once knew it. After this next hour is going to change your life forever.
I'm pumped. Honestly, I don't want anybody to be on the podcast. It's not going to change my life forever. So that's
Yeah. Nothing's going to be like this, my friend.
all right. Fantastic. All right. Well, and just so we start, Dave or David?
Either one's fine. I get
Okay.
called all sorts of names. Dave or David are the top two that I like.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, Dave, I really appreciate you hopping on and joining me for this episode of the Cameron Brown Show. This one is going to be unlike any other episode I've ever done. So thank you so much for taking the time.
That's for sure. Thanks for having me. And I always like talking to people that have crazy ideas about where they live. And that's on a globe in a space vacuum, violating natural law, doing all sorts of things that they don't even know that it does. But that's what they believe.
God, this is a great way to kickstart this episode. This is fantastic.
I'm going to
So
come off a little
first,
hot. I'm on fire. So that's all right.
coming in hot. I love
Yeah.
it. All right, so let's kick things off. At what point did you decide this was going to be the thing you were going to focus the majority of your time, energy, and effort on?
That's a great question. So, in short, I used to do a podcast on the side for fun called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, looking into all the big conspiracies of the world. And when Flat Earth came up, I thought people were joking. I thought they were, idiots. And I just wouldn't even watch a 1 minute video. Just watch this video, Dave. You can just tell me what you think. I'm like, I'm not watching it. You're an idiot. Banned for life. And I just ban people from even commenting. I'm like, you're too stupid if you think you want me to look into Flat Earth. It's the dumbest crap ever. And then my friend Sophia Smallstorm, a researcher, you may know her. She did 9/11 mysteries, some other ones that I won't mention on YouTube. And she said, Dave, I think the earth is flat. And I was like, not you too, Sophia. And she sent me a couple of videos. I said, all right, let me just watch these and I'm going to debunk them. I didn't say, let me watch them and find the truth. Let me
Right.
see what they have. No, I said, I'm going to prove this stupid flat earth stuff wrong. And for 2 weeks, I tried. And every argument that came up, boats over the horizon, day and night, seasons, and I'm like, oh my God, I never thought about that. I never thought about that. And then I realized, holy crap, we're not on a globe. And that's when my life changed. And I tried not to talk about it on the podcast because I was afraid we're going to lose all our listeners. And I was like, well, I have to. It's the truth. And after about a year, the podcast ran its course, and I started the Flat Earth podcast with another flat earther. Long story, but there was no other podcasts about flat Earth. So lots of videos and stuff. So the question is, I want to get to your question. The question is, when did I decide to dedicate my life to it? That's what I've done. Right now, there's a lot of people that are flat earthers that do it on the side. They do it because of passion, and we'll get into why there's a passion for it. But I had my own business. I literally went to college, went to corporate America, left corporate America, started my own business, was doing super well, and I walked away from it all to do this because this matters. What difference does the shape of the earth make? I still have to go to work on Monday, right? That's what people say. I said it, right?
Yeah.
That's where they want you. They want you not caring about where you live, what this place is, who you really are, right? And let me tell you something. No flat earther, including myself, even understands what we really are, right? We have an idea. We know what we're not. We know where we're not. We're not on a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum, as I said earlier. So that's what and I realized I didn't believe in the creator my entire life until I became a flat earther. There are no atheist flat earthers. Now, I'm not saying I'm religious or anything, because I'm not, but I said I had a decision to make. Everything I worked my life for, I have my own business, I'm my own boss, making money, free time. And I was about to walk away from it all to be yelled at and called an idiot by every single show I would go on. And I asked God for, I said, show me a sign. Tell me I should do this. And I got sign. They just kept coming and hitting me in the head. I'm like, okay, I surrender. And I did it. Here I am, Flat Earth Dave.
Why are there no atheist flat earthers?
Are you breathing air right now?
Yes.
Okay. Does air require containment to have air pressure? It's a big question. Probably not. Haven't really thought about it. But if your room was a vacuum, there's no air in your room, and you had a box of air. If you poke a hole in that box, what's going to happen? It's going to it's going to equalize instantly.
Right.
So we have to be in some sort of container. Now you could say, well, gravity is holding air down, and I could prove very simply, and you could logic it out when I explain it to you, that gravity cannot hold air down. Okay, so we live in a place that is contained, like a terrarium. Now I don't want to say it's totally closed, but we live in an enclosed system. I don't know how big it is, and nature, a Big Bang can't do that. It has to be designed like a fish in a fishbowl. The fish doesn't know about the bowl and didn't design the bowl. So we live in an intelligently designed world. So who is that creator? Are you part of the creator? Are we all creators? Those are things that you'll start looking into and investigating. Yeah. And they're all very interesting. Very interesting.
I watched your episode with Sandy, the debate with Sandy, at least.
Man.
A portion of it. I watched the entire thing, but the portion of it I watched in the beginning where she said that there's anything is possible. She's a true scientist because anything is possible. I really appreciated that portion of it, though, from her, because she was at least qualifying and stating, hey, anything is possible. I think that's really where I've gotten to as well, is and anything could be possible.
Not anything is possible. that I'm going to say that's untrue. Now, Liz, you can say I can't rule it out on most things, but there's certain things that you can't. And I'm not going to make a claim on exactly what this world is, but I can tell you it doesn't have any curvature. If something doesn't curve, then it's what?
It should be flat.
Yeah, and if something doesn't move, then it's what?
Still.
Stationary, still. Yeah. So there is no motion and there is no curvature. Well, how do you know there's no curvature, Dave? How do you know? Have you checked? Yeah, I've checked. Right. So you believe you live on a globe, and I love people, and you're not one of them, that come on. I'm not. Don't get that wrong. I love you. All right. People call, I'm 100% sure the earth is a globe. And so I'll ask them questions. What's the radius of the earth? Do you know?
Those are all going to be great questions.
What's the circumference? How fast is it orbiting the sun? How far is it from the sun? How did they figure out how far it is from the sun? You don't know any of those answers. How big is the sun?
Lots of big numbers, and frankly, I've seen them before, but I don't.
But you don't even know them. But you still defend them. It's weird. It's like people. It's Stockholm syndrome. People they believe something, but they have no idea what it is. Right? They have no idea.
Right.
So. I'm just trying to show you here. So this is so if something,
and this is your app behind us, correct? That's what we're looking at on the screen.
App. Yeah, the app is I made the app because when I was talking to people about flat Earth, I was like, "Where's that video of the sun circling around?" And so I made the app so I can do stuff like this and show people how it works, right? And I wasn't even intending to publish it, but people were like, "Where did I get that app?" So I published it for free. And people were like, "Hey, can you add this? Can you add that?" I started adding features. It started costing me money. I said, "You know what? If I charge $3 for the app, one-time charge, I can add all these features." So I started adding more and more features. It got to the point where I'm adding features that cost me per user more than $3. So I made a second level on the app just for the higher end stuff. It's $11 a year. And everyone loves it. I mean, it has a frequently asked questions page on it. So all the questions you're going to ask are all answered. Whoops, I didn't want to go there. They're all going to be answered on this page. Hey, what about eclipses? What about, the Coriolis effect? What about where does the sun go? All of the stuff is answered there. So I kind of made it for people to have quick access to learning stuff. And it's waking up a lot of people. And that's why the powers that be don't like it. But I was going to say, let's talk about distance. So do you know how far the alleged ball Earth curves in 3 miles? How much drop? So if you're on a ball, no matter where
Yep.
you're standing from your point of view, you're at the top of the ball. So everything goes down and away, down
Right.
and away, right? On a ball, it has to.
Yep.
3 miles, how much drop is there? Do you know? You don't. It's okay.
I don't know.
It's okay. It's 6 feet.
Okay.
6 feet. So if you're standing on a perfectly clear day next to perfectly calm water, you should only be able to see the surface of that water for 3 miles, because after that, it's dropping below your angle from your eye. And if you sit down, it's even closer.
Yeah.
But we can see things far beyond that. Here's these oil rigs, and there's one here and one here.
Right.
And the first one is 6 miles. Excuse me. Doesn't seem like a lot. The second one's 10.10 miles, right? So this camera is 8 feet off the ground. So the horizon should be 3.5 miles away. So about halfway to this rig is where we shouldn't be able to see the surface of the water anymore. Not only we can see it here, we can see it here, and we can see it far, far, far beyond the second rig.
Right.
How's that possible? Now, does that match a flat Earth or a globe Earth?
For your argument's sake, it matches a flat Earth, and I think this is where it gets interesting too, because I've seen a number of these videos online, and I think I'm trying to figure out what to make of them. I think that's the biggest thing for somebody who's coming from like the globe side of things, has never really questioned this before, because I would consider myself to be somebody who pokes and prods into conspiracies all the time. This is the one that I've just left alone for whatever reason, and so I'm finally getting to that point where I'm like, okay, I'd be interested in hearing more about from your perspective and from a flat earther's perspective, who's actually done the research.
Cameron, did you know that years ago, I'm a bit older than you, I was the 40th president of the United States. Do you know that? You didn't know that, right? Did you know that?
Correct,
did you know? Okay, so you immediately judged what I said. What did I just say? So now your conscious mind
of the United States.
Your conscious mind asks your subconscious, pull out, what did he say? And you repeated exactly what I said. Is it true or false?
False.
Have you verified that?
Yes.
How did you verify that?
Because we know the president of the United States.
You know enough to know that that's false. So you stored that as absolutely false.
Correct.
Right? Absolutely false. So that's how your mind works. Except when you're a kid before the age of 7, you'll believe anything anybody tells you, that especially if your parents say your teacher is a god and the textbooks are the gospel. Right? So they brainwash you before you can talk about the ball, everything about the ball. In kindergarten, first grade, second grade, they're teaching you the orbits of the sun and the moon and everything. And it's your birthday. They march you around another trip around the sun, right? Yep. All of that is programming. Sesame Street has astronauts on it. Everything is globe programming. Why? We'll get into that. But so that is
to control you later on in life.
That is a core belief. Yeah, that's a core belief. Yeah. A core belief. And now everything you've built around that. So now, did you like school? Most people don't.
Certain parts of it.
Yeah, certain parts, but it's like you learned a bunch of nonsense. Remember algebra? How fun was that? That was great.
I made good friends.
Yeah, you made good friends. But school nobody wants to go to school again. So at this point in your life, how old are you?
30.
So at this point in your life, I want you to throw away everything you've ever learned and start over again. That doesn't sound like fun.
It sounds honestly, it sounds interesting. Well,
it is interesting because if they taught you this stuff first, you'd actually be fascinated and you'd really even go much farther in life. Here's another example. This is the LoRa transmission. This is microwave transmissions. Microwave transmissions have to be line of sight, right? Okay. And so this one was from a ship to a buoy. At 10 miles, there's be 66 feet of curvature. Well, the ship isn't 66 feet high. It would bounce off the water and it wouldn't make it. But this one went, how far was it? 800 miles. 800 miles, right? Not to scale, but there would be miles and miles, 426,000 feet. What is that?
Because it's every
80 miles.
It was 6 feet every 3 miles, correct?
No, it's not 6 feet. No, it's exponential. Remember, you're on the top of a ball. Yep. It's 8 inches per mile squared. It's the Pythagorean theorem. So at this distance, there's 80 miles of curvature. Right. 80 miles. And it worked. Now they say, well, it's skipping off the ionosphere, skipping, and making it to the boat. But they admit that anything over, I think it's 40 hertz, will go right through the ionosphere. I think it's all bullshit, but that's what they say. Well, this is like 100 hertz, right? There's zero possibility for it to even skip. So does that match a flat Earth model or a globe Earth model?
I mean, that would match a flat Earth
Yeah,
model. And
yeah.
once again, not a scientist on this end, so I'd like
You
to
don't
push
have
back
to
as
be a
much as
scientist.
possible
Again,
here. But
being a scientist means that you memorized and regurgitated everything
yeah,
that you were taught. How do you become a teacher? Do you think for yourself, or do you memorize what's in the textbooks that the
a lot of them
Rockefellers wrote?
memorize a lot of what's in the
It's
textbooks and don't
all
actually have real
memor.
life
It's
experience. But
all memorization,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Here's this is an 80-mile shot. 80 miles. 80 miles. The curvature, I'm not even going to calculate it. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Okay. And we can see these things. The Earth is topographical, level, stationary, plane.
Well,
We
Dave,
can,
I know you have a lot of these examples, so I'm just
yeah,
going to ask you this: if the world is stationary,
yeah.
then what are we sitting on?
We're sitting on a stationary foundation, you know? So what are we sitting on? I'll tell you what we're sitting on. I mean, and it's not going to be a great answer. You're going to love it. But so on
Okay.
the app, if I just go to the images section, it's just easier to find here. Whoops, wrong button. Images. Show that again. It's got a test version of the app here. So we live in a double toroid, and in the middle of that toroid is a plane of inertia. That's
Okay.
where we live.
Okay.
And all the luminaries circle around on these magnetic waves up here, right? You know, so what did they teach you in school? The Earth orbits what?
The sun.
How about the other planets? What do they orbit?
The sun.
Right. What is our North Star? Our North Star is the one that lines up with the axis of the Earth, right?
Right.
Is our North Star a special star to if somebody lived on another planet? Just another star. They'd
Just
have
another
their
star
own.
in the
They'd
universe.
have their own North Star, whatever their axis points to.
Lots of suns.
Yeah, yeah. So why is it that everything that's in the sky, other than including the sun, orbit, they go around Polaris? Right? Juno is an asteroid. It does
Okay.
this spirograph pattern around Polaris. Everything goes around Polaris. How is that possible? Now this is complex 3D thinking. It's not that hard, but you've
Yep.
never done this before. Your brain is not used to thinking this way. There
Put me on the
is
spot,
no,
Dave.
there is no. Well, I was there. I was you.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm not saying you're stupid. It's you. Your brain. It's like if you went to the gym every day and did lower body for a year, and then you went in there one day and did your first upper body workout with heavy weights, you're dead. It's going to hurt, right? You're going to hurt yourself. So you have to be careful. Don't hurt yourself here. This is easy, though. This is easy. They all circle Polaris. They all circle Polaris, right? Do you ever see this picture of Jupiter, of Pluto? This is NASA's official picture of Pluto. Look at that light area. Does that look like Pluto the dog, or am I just having what it's called synesthesia?
It kind of does look like Pluto the dog. Yeah,
it does look like Pluto the dog. Right?
I mean, especially when you put the cartoon over it too.
They were both named the same year. You know, Pluto the planet and Pluto the dog were made up, both of them the same year.
Have we decided though? Is Pluto still a planet?
I don't pay attention to any of that garbage. It's all nonsense.
It seems like they go back and forth every year. I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
They're
just trying
week,
to confuse
but,
you, right?
It's different depending on who you talk to.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what NASA shows us, and this is what all of our optics show us. You can look up and see these things in the sky. They're all named after gods. That's weird. Yep. And they're all lights. They're all lights in the sky. The only thing you can objectively say about objects in the sky is that they're lights. How about these? Did you These are new planets from NASA discovered. Which one do you think is in our solar system?
I would expect the top right.
You would expect that, right?
But just because it looks more like Earth. But honestly, we have other planets in our solar system that look like the others.
They're actually the bottoms of frying pans, right? And I have zero budget. Okay, NASA gets $80 million a day. You think they could do better than that? Look, this is a frying pan. It's the bottom of a friggin' frying pan.
There's a lot of gotcha moments in this presentation.
Well, no, you know what? I actually hate doing gotcha moments, but I have to show you how easily we are convinced of anything. And it's the same with flat earthers. You show us a flat earth proof, people will run with it before they double check the facts. Like, wait a minute, that's not quite exactly right.
Well, I also appreciate. I think it's a really good starting point for the rest of the episode too, just because I think people they think one thing and they're not able to actually redirect themselves and think something else, because ultimately it's a huge hit to the ego too. It's hard for certain people to direct differently.
Yeah. See, I've learned I've completely killed my ego.
Yeah.
That way I know I'm better than everybody else.
Yeah, I'm working on that
That's a
right now,
joke.
but I
That's a joke.
definitely
That's
don't
a
think I'm
joke.
better than
That's a
anybody
joke,
else.
people.
I
The,
love it. I
the
love it.
Globers freak out.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about seasons. How do seasons happen on a flat Earth? Do you know?
On a flat Earth, no.
No. Okay. So this outer yellow line, do you know what that one is?
The
Tropic of
outer.
Capricorn.
Okay.
You've heard Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of
Yes.
Cancer, but
Yep.
you never really knew what they were. It's hard to visualize them on a globe.
Right.
Well, this is the Tropic of Cancer. And in June, the sun is over the Tropic of Cancer. In December, we're just past December right now, the sun is out here. So it takes 6 months to spiral out. Excuse me. And then it takes 6 months to spiral in. So we go from January, February, March, April, May, June. And in June, it's all the way in here. So where are you? You're in the US, right?
Yep.
Whereabouts?
South Carolina.
So you're a little south, but you're closer to the sun in June than I am. I'm in Connecticut.
We'll be up there in a couple months.
Yeah.
Great
So that's why it's warmer in South Carolina, because you're closer to the sun.
Yep.
So the sun comes here in June. We have our inner northern summer. Then we go out. It goes out here, December, and we have our inner northern winter. The sun is farther away. Right? They tell us it's the tilt of the Earth. We're tilted. In the heliocentric model, they say that in June we're 3.5 million miles closer to the sun, but it's only a little percentage, so it doesn't matter. It's the tilt that matters. It's the tilt. The tilt to what? It's the tilt to the sun, right? Because the sun hits us at a more obscure angle. Well, how come in June, when the sun is near sunrise or sunset, you can feel the heat? But in December, at noon, when the sun is like 50 degrees off the horizon, much more direct angle, you can't, and you're closer to it, you can barely feel the heat in Connecticut. It makes no sense. So let me show you an observation that I made last year in February. So we'll go seasons. So on the top half here, we have a globe. And I was here on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, and it was 90 plus degrees Fahrenheit. In Connecticut, it was negative 10, 100-degree swing.
Right.
Now, on the globe, the sun would be over here somewhere, right? So it's behind me. If I'm looking north, the sun would be behind me, and that would be north. So with the distance and the tilt away, it's 0.0003% farther away for Connecticut. Does that amount of difference account and angle account for 100-degree swing? Not really. It doesn't make sense, right?
I don't know, but I think my thought, obviously with the equator, but if we were on a round ball, right? Mm-hmm. If we were at the equator does bulge, right? So anything closer to the equator does bulge.
Have you ever seen that bulge? You mean they tell us the equator bulges 14 miles high? Did you know that 28 miles are so 14-mile high bulge of water on the equator? That's what Neil deGrasse Tyson says, right? 14-mile high bulge of water. How come Africa's not underwater?
I did watch that video of Neil deGrasse Tyson in preparation for this call. If I'm being completely honest.
That's what you used. Wow, you couldn't have picked anything dumber to watch. So this one, it's a lot of, you got to make up a lot of excuses to explain this, right?
Okay.
Now let's look at it on a flat Earth. So on a flat Earth, the sun was right here at 2:30 in the afternoon. That yellow line shows how far it was from me. And the green line shows how far it was from Connecticut. It's twice the distance.
Right.
Would that explain a 100-degree swing in temperature? More so.
Makes a little more sense.
Makes a little more sense. What you'll notice is the excuses for flat Earth and the excuses for globe Earth are insanely different. The globe Earth are back springs, like crazy, insane things. And flat Earth is, it's because it's flat. Let me show you an example of that. So here is, where is it? Give me 1 second. Where does it go? Oh, here we go. All right. So here, large bodies of water at rest lie flat. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Except over great distances, they'd have to curve with the Earth, right?
Right.
Okay. So here we have a lake in the winter. It's frozen. We have the camera 6 inches off the ice. This whole video documents everything. We're not on top of a hill or anything or snow. And in the distance, we put these four lights that are, I think they're a foot off the ice,
Okay.
right? 8 miles, 7 miles, 6 miles, and 5 miles. While the Earth is so big, what difference would that make? Well, let me tell you what difference. Now, globers like to say anytime things are past the geometric horizon that is required on a ball, they say, "Oh, refraction. It's refracting up. It's it's not, but it's refracting up at the exact rate of the Earth." Okay, this is the globe excuse. So we added like a ridiculous amount of refraction to these numbers. So
Okay.
at this distance, it would be with refraction 30 feet, 22, 15, and 9 feet below the horizon. But they all show up right at
Perfectly on the horizon.
perfect level. Now, there's two options. One, flat Earth, cameras on the ice, looking across the flat ice sees the four lights.
Yep.
End of story. Globe Earth. The camera is 6 inches off the ice. 0.88 miles away is the tangent of the Earth. That's going to be anything below that will be hidden. This one refracts up that amount. This one refracts up more. This one refracts up more. This one refracts up even more. None of them refract higher than that tangent line, and none of them refract lower than that tangent line. They magically stop at the tangent line, so they all line up right there.
And they all magically illuminate.
No, they're lights. They're lights. They're
right.
colored lights, but they all
So
refract
they don't
up.
get more dim. What I'm saying is the red light doesn't get more dim.
They might be a little. It could be a little dimmer. The ones that are farther away. It was clear. It was cold. There's not humidity. You're not going to have that much dimness. But this one requires magical, perfect refraction. Things always refract up just to the eye level. They never refract up higher, and they never refract lower. That's crazy. Crazy. Let me show you. Let's stick on. I like this distance stuff. This is good. So here's a spot in Aluja, France, and it's a very famous spot because out here is Mount Canigou, 175 miles away. Now, from this elevation, using their Earth curve calculator, the top of Mount Canigou should be over a half a mile below the geometric horizon, the physical horizon, of a ball. When, like, if you had a basketball and you had a little BB on the top and you rolled it over the horizon, you can't see it anymore. Zooming in on it won't help you. Now, do we see Mount Canigou here? No. Now, is Mount Canigou a light? The sun is a light. Mount Canigou is not a light. You see me. I'm not a light, but you see the light that's bouncing off of me. The way that I could prove that is if I could turn off every light in this room, you wouldn't see me anymore. Right? The lights that are shining on me are brighter than the light that's reflecting off of me.
So we should be able to see them out.
Well, the light that's reflecting off of Mount Canigou doesn't have enough power, brightness to go through the thickness medium of the atmos. Okay. But the sun is bright. And twice a year, as the sun migrates in between the tropics, it lines up with Mount Canigou, right? It's going in between, and then twice a year, it lines right up with Mount Canigou. And as it moves into the distance, all of a sudden you can say, oh, look, there's Mount Canigou, right? The top of this peak right here should be over a half a mile below the curve, but it's right there. Do you want to hear the globe explanation?
Yes.
First, tell me the flat Earth explanation. Why do we see Mount Canigou?
Because the sun is. So this is going to be a follow-up question too, as well. Where is the sun going though?
We'll go there next. So about perspective. You look at a street light above your head, you look at a street light down the street. The one above your head's up there. The other one is right at your eye level down the street. So the sun is just going away due to perspective. So the flat Earth explanation is what? Why do we see Mount Canigou? Because it's right there.
Okay.
Because it's right there.
Right.
Flat Earth. Flat. It's right there.
It's right in front of us.
We don't really see it. We're just seeing its silhouette, the sun, because it's blocking the sunlight. The globe Earth explanation is, well, the mountain's below the curve. The sun is already set below the curve. It's refracting up, and the back of Mount Canigou that has no light on it is reflecting up and blocking the refracted sun. Which one of those is the R word and which one of those makes sense?
A lot of what you're saying makes sense. I'm just still trying to wrap my mind around it.
I understand. You don't have to you have to stretch your mind across it. You don't have to wrap your mind around it.
We're
That's too
expanding the
complicated.
mind right now.
Yeah,
So,
expanding
yes.
the mind. So, what was your question? You wanted to know where does the
Yeah,
sun
where does the
go?
sun go? If I mean, the sun's wrapping around the Earth. The sun's obviously with a globe Earth, it would
It's
be passing
circling.
beyond the horizon and
Yeah.
then wrapping around the Earth
Yeah,
consistently.
it's circling. It's circling the earth. So I'm trying to see. Is this the one I want to show you? So this is all right. Is that what I want to show you? No, that's perspective. I want to show you a different one. Um, second. Got too many things going here. All right. Oh,
I guess that
that's
would be my big question: is if everything is truly flat, then why do we lose sight of the sun at all if it is circling the Earth?
I will. That is where we're going. That's my favorite. That's my specialty, by the way.
this is this is awesome.
All right. So here's the streetlights I was talking about.
Yep.
This is the time lapse of the sun, right? And here are the streetlights. This is one's up high, the one up here. It's straight up above me.
Right.
So how many lights are there? Let's say there's 20 lights to here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you see the 40th light?
You can still see it.
No, you can't.
But
It's just beyond your
it's
ability
beyond.
to see. It merges with that. And this is without even an atmospheric deck. We're going to get into the atmospheric deck in a moment. So just showing you perspective makes things go down. All right. David Weiss here. I've been taking Masterpiece for probably over a year, maybe even 2 years. And the detox I feel from it is amazing. I have never felt better in my life. I know that sounds like a lot, but I sleep better. I have amazing dreams when I take it at night. I take it twice a day most of the time, but sometimes I only take it once a day because I forget. But it's definitely an amazing product. And now with the new research they've done where it is literally getting rid of the nanotech in your body, I can't imagine not having any. So there you go. That's my testimony. And I love the stuff and I'm never going to stop taking it. That's the sun setting.
Right.
It looks like it's going behind the Earth curve. You see this line here? This line is the compression of the atmosphere. The ground is ramping up and it creates a line here that you think is at your eye level. In reality, this line is thousands of feet above your eye level. The sun is just going beyond it. Now, when we zoom in to this sun, so today's consumer optics have outgrown the heliocentric light. So as we zoom in, you're going to see, oh my Lord, the sun isn't even, it's still up in the air, right? That the brightness set. It's still way up in the air. It's still up in the air above this line. All of this gets compressed and the sun just goes beyond it. I'm going to show you. That's just a warm up. All right. I haven't done this in a while.
I can't imagine how many times you've gotten these same questions.
No, it's all right. You're on a good track here. So here is and I'm trying to find one that's going to show you how this happens. See this coin here? Why is the coin disappearing from the bottom up? Could you figure it out?
Because it's getting further away from us?
It's getting further away. It's disappearing from the bottom up because the lens is below the table a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Now, if the lens was above the table, it wouldn't disappear.
Yep.
Right? This line here is 20, 30,000 feet above your eye level, but it looks like it's at eye level.
Got it.
It looks like it's at eye level and it's just moving away. So let me go to, give me a second. So here we have.
So the Europeans believe in flat Earth too. I believe that was a euro.
Maybe. Yeah, absolutely. Got a guy on a pier. I put this picture together. Okay. You got the sun in the sky. You got clouds in the sky. You got a boat, tree, fisherman, water. Now, your life experience, you ask an infant this, he's not going to be able to tell you. Why isn't the water on the pier?
Because the pier's floating.
Because the pier is higher than the water.
Yep.
Right. Now, you know that from life experience.
Right.
The boat is on top of the water. The sun is up in the sky. What's higher, the sun or the clouds?
The sun.
Even though the clouds look lower, that's due to perspective. The sun is always higher. So you're putting all of this together. In reality, this is all just on a flat surface, this image, right? Where's the 50-story skyscraper?
Where is it?
Where is it? It's in this picture.
Somewhere far away.
Nope. It's taking up most of
Maybe
the picture.
he's standing on top of it.
Damn right. See it? It's right there. And if I take away all the other stuff, I'm showing you that I'm looking straight up at a 50-story skyscraper. So this is 50 stories above the street.
Okay.
The sun is noon, 12:30, 1 o'clock. Question: where did the sun go?
Beyond the skyscraper.
Beyond the skyscraper. Is it below the horizon?
Not yet.
No, but it's just beyond. Now, how could you see? There's a couple different ways that you could see that sun again. One would be float up in the air and look over the building. Yep. Or two, if there's nothing across the street, you can back up a little bit and get a better angle. What if you backed up 20 miles?
You should be able to see the sun.
Oh, sure. I mean, back up 100 feet, you can be able to see the sun.
Yep.
But at 20 miles, what's going to happen to the top of that building? Is it you're still going to have to arch your neck up to look at it? Or is it going to be right in front? It's going to look like it's at your eye level.
Yep.
Right? So here's a perspective grid. Here's eye level right here.
Yep.
I'm going to throw this mountain here. Let's say it's 3,000 feet above the sky. All right. Here's the sun. Sun moves away. Did it go below the horizon or did it go beyond the mountain? Just like the building.
I guess a round earther would say both.
It's not below the horizon because that guy can go backwards. He'll see it. It's above the land that goes on for miles and miles and miles. It's just beyond the mountain.
Yeah.
He's right next to the mountain. But if we move him back 25, 30 miles, 50 miles, there's the top of the mountain. It's right at his eye line from his point of view. And the sun goes away. Is it going below the horizon or beyond the mountain?
Beyond the mountain.
Beyond the mountain, but from his point of view, it went below the horizon. Right. So if I add clouds in here now, so the clouds represent the atmosphere. The atmosphere, even on a cloudless day, is still there. Over distance, the atmos on a clear day becomes opaque over distance. Just like in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, the water is crystal clear. You can't see from one end of the pool to the other with goggles on. Because the light just gets attenuated into the water, gets attenuated in the air. The sun is above the clouds. This cloud, let's say this cloud is 8,000 feet in the sky. Okay. Is this cloud 8,000 feet in the sky? That's a cloud deck. So. It's a level deck. How about these ones all the way over here? They're still 8,000 feet above that mountain, right? Or so 5 and 3, 8,000 feet above his eye level.
Well, depending upon the height of the mountain versus everything else around.
Forget the mountain. We'll just take that out. We'll give the globe the benefit of the doubt. All of these clouds are 8,000 feet above sea level, right?
Okay.
He's standing at sea level. Let's pretend. This line here is at least 8,000 feet above him. The sun is above that, and it goes where? Beyond or below?
Beyond.
It went beyond, but didn't it look like it went below?
It does look like it's going
It's
below.
going beyond because you don't understand. When I say you, most people, even most flat earthers, don't even understand that this line is not at eye level. It appears to be at eye level. It appears to be at eye level. Let me show you.
A lot of
good.
There in the flat earth community. How many flat earthers? Well, are there a lot of pilots that are flat earthers?
Oh yeah. So in my app, if you go to the app and you go to the frequently asked questions page, where's that? Right here, and you scroll down to
your FAQ section must be phenomenal.
Yeah. The pilots and scientists, right?
Yep.
If you go to the pilots and scientists one, let's click it. So pilots and scientists, and you scroll down a little bit. Yep. There's all sorts of stuff, even astronauts whistleblowing on how nonsensical it is. But here's one, 3 hours, 28 pilots confirming the earth is flat right here.
Okay.
Right. We've got
Perfect.
military guys, whistleblowing about how none of their equipment would work on a spinning globe Earth. All the information's there, but here's the thing. Where do I live? I told you
Connecticut.
earlier. Okay. Is that a belief or do you know it?
You told me that, so
Is it
I
a
would.
belief or do you know it?
I know it.
You know it? Would you bet your life on it right now?
Honestly, I believe you, Dave. So
Okay, so it's a belief.
yeah, it's a
But
belief.
here's the thing: if you had to verify everything in your life,
Yeah.
you would never have time to do anything.
Right.
So you heard me say it. Why would he lie? He sounds a little bit like a New York Jew. That's near Connecticut. You got all of this stuff, and you stored it as real information. What did I say? I was what president of the United States?
40th.
All right, is that true or false?
That is false.
Would you bet your life on it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is how our minds work. We store things, right? So where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought on that. What was the question? Do you remember the question you just asked me? I totally short.
We were talking about pilots, and we got into basically our mindsets and how our minds are manipulated into believing certain things.
Yeah.
Beliefs
So
versus truth.
I have so many pilots. I have the pilots from all the major airlines. Lots of them know. Lots of them are just bus drivers. They just believe what they were told, and they know nothing about their equipment. So again, tons of pilots and stuff in there. There's all sorts of stuff. But I'm going back to. I wanted to show you one little experiment I did.
I have a couple really big questions. I know you probably have some additional examples, and I'm sure we could do this for hours.
All right, let me just show you this, and then we'll get to all your questions. And if we have to go a little longer, we can go a little longer. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. Where did it go? Here we go. So here is what I call my flat Earth kitchen. All right. So this is my counter here. It goes across. I got this line here, and I'm running my fake sun across the line, level with the counter. Now, here I have some bottles with some cardboard in between it. We'll call them mountains, atmospheric deck, whatever you want, but we never go below it. We're just going straight and level from a celestial point of view, right? The camera at the same height sees this as a straight line because it is a straight line.
Right.
I have another camera on the deck of the counter, so a terrestrial point of view of the same thing. So let's take a look from the other side. Now, if I showed you this first, I'd say, is this line level? And you're like, no, it's about a 45-degree slope. And I say, does this sun go below this cardboard? And you'd be like, absolutely. Absolutely does. Where did the sun go?
Beyond below.
Beyond. Not below. Yeah. It was always above. Look at this line now. I'm just zoomed in. This line almost is going straight down, but it's level.
So with this example, though, it's ultimately like you're saying the sun goes to a certain point and then comes back, or is it actually circling around?
It goes a circle around. It makes the sun's motion has been documented between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, in and out, circling around, spiraling out for 6 months, and spiraling in for 6 months.
So it is still spiraling. It is still circling. You're just believing it's circling around a flat Earth instead of a.
It's perfectly clear. I'll show you in a second. So here it is going away. Here's a real sunset. What's the sun going behind? Look right there. Look. It's going beyond. That could be mountains. That could be the atmospheric deck of opacity over distance. The atmosphere literally ramps up. It ramps up as far as opacity. Down low is the thickest atmosphere. It gets thinner and clearer the higher you go. So let's say it's 100 miles and the atmosphere becomes opaque, enough opaque to block the sun.
Yep.
200 miles, whatever it is. Okay. If you go up 50 meters, it might be another 5 miles or 10 miles. You go up 50 meters, it might be another 10 or 20 miles farther. Okay. You go up, it's farther. So you have a ramp of opacity. That way, if the sun sets, you can quickly go up in the Khalifa Tower and you can see how over that opacity and you can see the sun again. And they tell you that's because the earth is curved.
I actually did. I went up into the Burj Khalifa Tower and saw forever. And,
you saw forever. You saw, and if you do the math, the physical requirements of the globe are far exceeded by what you saw. And you have to believe in magical refraction. All right, go ahead. Go to what do you want to ask?
Yeah, biggest one is an individual, normal, everyday, average human being on a daily basis. They have plenty of different things to deal with. Why should they pay attention to whether or not the Earth is flat or not? And also, what are the general implications here? Why would the government be trying to hide something like this from us?
What do governments do? They're all about control. Resources, taxation. Right? What if you knew that there was more land? What if you knew that there was other technology? What if you knew that there was free energy? What if you knew and nobody can rule over you. What if you didn't have faith in a creator, but you absolutely knew there was a creator, right? Natural law says do anything you want, but don't harm others. That's all. That's all of the law. But
Yep.
the governments can't break God's law. So they created a different world, a ball. They commoditized you. They poisoned you at birth. They gave you a birth certificate. They trade you on the stock market, and they tell you you live on a ball, and you use their fake money, which is another belief system, and they can make any rules that they want because he who owns it, can make rules about it.
Right.
So what difference does it make? It makes all the difference in the world. My favorite section on the app of all is Why the Lie, right here. Why the Lie will blow you away. There's such great videos on there. And, again, as you said, we can do this all day. We can talk about Why the Lie for hours and hours and hours.
Yep.
And, but here's one thing. So,
well, other than it just being $3 to enter the app, I guess that's one of the better questions is why should someone download the app and start delving into this topic? So,
because it frees you from the matrix, right? Okay. You don't pay attention to anything that the governments want. They're totally controlling you. So let me where's my thing? Why the Lie? Where did it go? That's not it. Oh, nope. Oh, here we go. So here's just a few. Why would they lie? Maybe to hide free energy, hide the creator, hide your spirituality, hide more land, hide more resources, hide scientific knowledge, hide what's in Antarctica, hide that you're the center of creation, hide that you're special, hide that you're not a prisoner, that you're free, hide your natural abilities. I mean, they tell you things like, we have 13 strands of DNA, but we only use 2 of them. That's creating that reality in your mind, which takes away lots of your abilities.
This is a pretty big question here too. What is in the beyond? What is there beyond everything that we're being told?
We can only speculate. We can only speculate. So I like sticking to the facts, but I think there's more land. I think there's other advanced civilizations. I'll show you. You'll be interested in this, but so the question is, we are these incredible, spiritual, powerful, connected beings. We're all one. There is only love in this world, but they want to put us in fear. Fear is how they control us with false evidence appearing real, FEAR. And they want us fighting with each other. They have us divided by races, nations, sports teams, genders. They're dividing the genders up. They're doing everything to divide us and make us this is a spiritual war that we're in, and people don't believe in a spiritual war. And that's how you win a spiritual war. You make people just not even believe. So we're these incredible beings in a limitless abundance. So there's only abundance. There's no shortages. There's nothing, right? But what they do is they put a globe over your head and they cut you off from everything. This is it. This is where Truman lives, right? In a ball. There's nothing left. There's nothing left to explore, Truman, right? Remember that scene? Go watch that show again.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Great movie.
I was gonna,
truth in the movie.
A comment that I've seen on a lot of my posts as of late, because I'll refer to groups as they. I will say they, and it seems like that really triggers people for whatever reason. So whenever you say they, I just want to kind of get a better understanding of who you refer to as they.
Yeah. So who are they is the question, right? So the they is the ones that we know of, right? The Council of Foreign Relations, the United Nations. These are unelected groups that rule the world. Right. The Bilderberg Group, the Club of Rome, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, and the Trilateral Commission. You've heard some of those. This is the round table that runs the world. The big corporations run the world. Presidents don't run the world. Leaders don't run the world. Those are just puppets put in place to play their part. They're all actors. It's all nuts. Even Trump, right? It's all a big show. And here's the beautiful thing. They have to tell us the truth. They always tell us the truth. They put it right in front of us. Right. And people are just too stupid to see it, and that's on them. right? God gave you an incredible mind that can do incredible things. And this is the way this world works is you have to agree to everything, right? Do you pay taxes?
I do.
Yeah, you agree to it. That's why you pay
No, I
taxes.
don't.
No, you do. You signed you
I
signed your
agree to pay
1040.
them. Yes, I
Do
don't
you fill
agree
out
with
do you
them though.
hold on, do you fill out your 1040?
Yes.
Do you sign it?
Yes.
So you agreed. That's
Yes.
it. I got a document. Um, you're going to give me half of your money. Sign this paper, please.
It's absolutely absurd.
Well,
I had this conversation with my
why would you sign one and not the other?
because according to the manipulation, I have agreed that the government is a credible source that I should be giving my money to
You
so they can
do.
invest into our
What's
infrastructure.
credible about the government?
Well, that's the
The
biggest question
government
of
is
the
a
day right
belief
now, right?
system. How about this? Everybody watches your podcast tonight. Okay.
Yep.
Everybody watches your podcast. And they all go, you know what? That Dave is making a lot of sense. I'm no longer going to listen to anything the government says. Now, everyone in the country and the world says we're no longer going to listen to anything the government say. What could the government do?
Nothing.
They have nothing, right? Let's say you and I were
Yeah.
together and you had a sandwich, a meatball parm wedge, right? And I
Sounds
said,
pretty
hey, I'll give you $20 for that. You're already full, and you're like, okay, that's a belief system on your part because you gave me something that I know I could eat, and I'm going to eat it. It's going to be good. But you got a piece of paper that you believe is worth something. What if everyone in the world stopped believing in money? What could you do with that $20?
Nothing.
Right. Well, you could light it on fire. That's about
Here's a
it.
quick because you brought up money. I had a podcast entirely on this. What do you think the future of currency looks like? Just real quick.
Oof, that's a great question. I try to trade as much as I can. I think privacy cryptocurrencies. A lot of people are like, oh, crypto's the devil and this and that. I think privacy cryptocurrencies and precious metals. Look what
Yeah.
silver's doing right now. Look at that.
Precious metals are crushing it.
Yeah, anybody that owns silver is going to be a millionaire. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but
All
it's
right.
going to cost $500,000 for a loaf of bread. So, but that's
I'm gonna clip that part because people keep talking. I mean, it's been the conversation for years now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was a little bit late to the game, but I've got plenty of friends who've been stacking for the past 5 to 10 years.
You know
buying
what?
bullion.
Yeah, there's people that said they were late to the game when Bitcoin came out. And they're like, oh my God, it already went from $3 to $7. It's too late, they said.
Yeah.
That was me, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I gotcha.
yeah.
Well, I keep buying regardless, so I'm
Yeah.
on a long buy and hold strategy with
Good.
with the majority of the things I believe in. But the dollar is not really one of them.
Again, I'm not giving any financial advice. My financial advice is a little bit of everything because something's
Can I
got to
can
give.
I edit that clip to say financial advice from the flat earther?
Yeah, you can say that.
I think that would be great for virality. If we're being completely
Whatever
honest.
whatever you want. Whatever you
No,
want.
I had the same conversation with my family this past weekend regarding taxes, and I was like, why do you believe in these things? Why do you think we pay these taxes? Like, where do these taxes go? And the entire response was just it was kind of a blank stare of sorts from certain individuals. And everybody in my family I would consider to be pretty cognitively inclined, but when it comes to taxes, just like I expect to pay them because I've been told to pay them, and
Cameron,
it makes sense because we're getting something out of it.
you seem
When
like
you stop getting stuff out of it, it gets a little frustrating when you realize you're not getting much out of it at the end
you
of the day.
seem like the perfect guy to go to Anarchapulco. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not. No, I saw it on your website. I've got it pulled up right now.
Yeah, Anarchapulco is a freedom conference from health freedom to financial freedom to knowledge about many of the hidden things in this world, from the old world to the biology of this world. Have you looked into the old world yet? Have you looked into any of that?
A bit, but not super deep.
Yeah.
Just random podcast.
There's more than 50 speakers at the thing. It's a 5-day, 6-day event.
Okay.
It's in Puerto Vallarta this year, Mexico. It's amazing. Okay. Take a vacation. If you're looking for a place to go, this is it. You can even bring kids if you have kids. And you'll learn. It'll change your life. Again, there's so much to learn in this world. People are bored. When they get bored, they get in trouble. Your soul knows the truth of this world. Your conscious mind, which has been programmed by all of the information that you've judged consciously and stored subconsciously, is where you're reacting. So your inner voice is trying to talk to you all the time.
Right.
And some people are so lost in the news and the fear that their inner voice gets depressed. And that's when they get depressed. They get into drugs. They get in trouble. They're depressed. They're on now.
Well,
They're
instead of
on.
doing drugs, I started
Yeah,
a podcast, Dave.
yeah,
So
there you go. There you go. But when you discover the truth of this world, the when you look into the truth of this world, I see your soul lighting up. And
right.
I've seen people get off of drugs, come out of depression, because they realize that, I used to be bored. Like, oh my God, I got a half an hour before I have to leave to go do this thing. What am I going to do? And I'll be flipping channels on the TV, staring at the wall.
Yeah.
Now I don't have enough time. I watch
Yeah.
my videos at 2x speed. I was actually watching a YouTube video yesterday at 2.5x, right? Because I need more time because there's
Right.
so much to learn. Go outside and just your mind is blown every day once you can see what this world is.
Two quick follow-up questions. Once again, I want to be very respectful of your time. What do you want for humanity? What do you want for people that view your stuff, your content?
I want people to understand what this world is and to get out of fear and to not operate on that side of the spectrum, just to operate out of pure love. And I want people to be freed from the slave system that they're trying to enslave us with. I want people to, if you can convince people that they're spinning on a ball, you can convince them if they breathe in grandma that she's gonna die, and now that you have to wear a piece of paper over your mouth, to protect her. It's so dumb what you can convince people of. So when you start learning about these things, it frees your mind. It takes you out of fear. It puts you into the love side. And that's when things just start manifesting. Heaven on earth is what I want. I want heaven on earth. I want everyone to see the truth of this world. And that's why I've dedicated my life to this.
Well, it's almost like by teaching this, you're teaching people to expand their minds and their consciousness, ultimately.
100%.
Okay.
Go to this conference.
Okay.
Go. It's worth it. It's so friggin' good. And you're in Mexico for a friggin' week. So
it sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
The second part of that, which I should have asked that first question last, frankly, be a great way to conclude this episode. But the moon, what role does the moon play in all of this?
That's a great question. There are stories about the time when there was no moon.
That's the version of it that I like, is that the moon got dropped here by someone.
Yeah, I don't think the moon is a physical thing. I think it's part of the system that we're in. Women living together will all get on the same cycle, and that cycle will sync up with the moon if they allow it. So there's something to it. I think that the moon is responsible for delivering and removing souls from creation. Okay. It's a portal, if you will, and so is the sun. Now that sounds crazy. That's just my theory, but there's lots of people that talk about that.
Yep.
And the moon is not a place that you can go out. Right now, the moon is pretty close to the sun. The sun is coming up on the moon. Actually, we can just look right here. So wherever the sun is. So right now it's noon in California, or close to noon. And you'll see the sun the moon just ahead of the sun, right? It's a couple hours ahead of the sun. 1, 2, 3 hours in front of the sun.
Right.
So you'll be able to see the moon in the day sky. How the hell can you see the moon in the day sky if it's out in outer space? Right.
Something
refraction. Yeah. How come you can't see stars during the day then? They're brighter than the moon.
Right.
Oh, they're smaller. Right. It's all nonsense.
Right.
The sun and the moon are within the system that we live in. So that's
I've got
one
a lot
thing.
Of moon theories. That's probably an entirely different podcast.
There is a lot. I don't believe it's a physical place. There's a scientist that was interviewed on some news show in the 1950s that said the moon is plasma. It's not a place that you can go. And he's like, well, the Apollo is going to be landing there. He's like, no, they're not. And he just called them out. He called them out. It's amazing.
So then we did not land on the moon, in your opinion?
No, God, no.
Okay.
God, yeah. The whole moon landing, that incredible. Again, on the app, I think I have a moon landing nonsense section. Oh, there's an ISS section. But if you go to the more resources page, yes, moon nonsense, moon mission nonsense. Once you watch that stuff, then you'll know, right? I became a flat earther before I found out that the moon landing was fake, because we're having a conversation. This is back in 2014. We're on a group call and we're just talking about all this new flat earth information. And they said something about the moon. I was like, wait, we didn't go to the moon? And silence came over, like 10 people on the call. They're like, you think we went to the moon? And I'm like, yeah, like I had never, ever looked into it. If you take 2 minutes and look into it, it is comical. Hold on a second. Let's take a look. So we'll type in moon.
While you're doing this, more than anything, I think I'm just intrigued. What's interesting to me is having a lot of these conversations. A lot of people get very upset
Yeah,
very rapidly.
yeah.
They just get mad
They get
by these
super mad.
topics.
What do you see here? Okay. I see an umbrella spray painted gold. I see two of the shittiest beach chairs ever that are bent and warped. Okay. If I was going to the beach and somebody brought me that chair, I'd be like, you're no friend. Right. I see a Jeep chassis. Right. Well, what the hell is this? I don't see any tire tracks. I see footprints. But I don't see any tire tracks. How did it get there? Right. That cost $38 million. Right?
That might be the most believable part about it, though. That's typical government
$38
spending.
million. You can get this bad boy with inflation at $37 million.
Yep.
Okay, $38 million in the 1960s. Crazy inflation. You can get that for $37 million. If you can't see the problem, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Right? How did the moon buggy fit inside of that thing? There's
Lots of big question marks.
Yeah, yeah. There's so much.
Lots of big question marks.
Yeah,
Well,
tons of questions.
Dave, I once again want to be very respectful of your time today. Is there anything you want to leave people with?
Yeah, don't believe anything I said. Don't believe anything. Go verify everything. But here's the thing. Where do I live? Where do I live?
Connecticut.
Okay. Is it a belief or do you know it?
It's a belief.
Okay, that's good. It's a rational belief. You know, I'd even bet $5 on it or something like that, right? If I were you. But to find out the truth, how long is it going to take you to verify it? It take you a while. You're going to go on my Facebook. You're going to look at my pictures. You're going to try to get some metadata. You're going to find my high school. You're going to look me up. You're going to do all this stuff. You're going to spend a couple hours, and you were like, "That fucker does live in Connecticut, right?"
Well, it could be a quick internet search, but it would.
Yeah, it could be, but it's going to take
cross-reference.
time and effort. When you're like, "There's no sense. I really don't care," right? But that's how. What I want you to do is take that time and effort and verify the stuff I'm talking about. Now, if you Google "is the Earth flat," and ask ChatGPT, which that's all people are not even going to know how to think anymore now that ChatGPT and the rest of that stuff is out.
Yeah.
You're gonna
It's getting
fed.
worse.
You're gonna get fed unbelievable, nonstop propaganda, and you're just gonna get tired and you're gonna give up. And you're like, Earth is a globe. You know, this guy's crazy. Go to my website, flatearthdave.com. Scroll down. You can get the app. That's the best way. That way, whenever you're stuck in a car, stuck in line, waiting time, laying down, going to the bathroom, whatever, you can watch all these videos and learn, right? But on my website, scroll down. There's a banner that says Crash Course. Watch the first 5 videos on that, and you too can be ridiculed by your friends because you'll be a flat earther, right?
You'll be the life of the party.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is, there's in 2014, 15, 16, you mentioned flat earth to somebody, they laugh, they're crazy. Now, you mentioned flat earth, they're like, I've heard some stuff about that. Hey, or the people like, yeah, Earth is flat. Of course it's flat. It's crazy. Check this out. On the app, I click the handshake button. So this is a map of the people that are on the friend finder on my app, right? So here's the United States. Where are you?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Look, there are lots of people around you.
Lots of friends in South Carolina.
Yeah, these are flat earthers, right? And for those flat earthers out that are listening here that have been waiting for you to do this episode, if you're looking for that special someone or just a good friend, you click the heart button, right? Click the heart button. Whoops, hold on a second. Where'd I go? Click the heart button, and that takes you to the matchmaker. So I have myself set for 1 year old because I'm not really looking. I got female, age group, radius. I say search, and up come there's 62 people that match my criteria. I've already added 19 of them right up here. So if I just click that, I can scroll through and I can message them.
Meet with other outside the box thinkers.
You can talk to them. You can message them. Hold on, there we go. It's just loading. I got a very slow internet here. You can message them and you can do video calls on here. You can do all sorts of stuff. And there's already people that have gotten married and had babies because of this. So it's a great way to bring people together that are like-minded, that are purebloods, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Dave, I do, and I don't know why I didn't ask this earlier. What's at the edge then? What's at the edge of the world?
We don't know when no one's allowed to go there, and all the countries in the world agree that no one's allowed to independently explore beyond 60 degrees south.
Okay.
So 60 degrees south is out here.
Yep.
So this would be Antarctica. Now the question is, does the ice go all the way around? Right? Does it go all the way around? I don't think it does. Right. But they want you, like, if you're a flat earther or a globe earther, they want you to think that there's nothing more out there. Personally, I think that there's lots more land out there, lots
Okay.
more land. Right. For example, what if the world was set up like this? Right. We live here. This
Right.
would be Antarctica. And out here would be extra land, extra territory, extraterrestrials from where? The outer space out here.
So then is it just technology that's keeping us from going beyond?
There's no, it's the military. If you look in hold on, we'll go.
I
So
don't know this. I'm taking this in a completely different direction now, but
yeah, no,
that
that's
was
okay.
one question I should have asked earlier.
The Antarctic Treaty, there's all of these bases around the outer part of the world.
Yep.
And remember the Falkland Islands War? Right?
Yes.
What the hell do we need that alarm for? Because they don't, this is how they guard the outer ring. They don't want anybody heading out there. Because what if you found out there's a place that there's free energy, advanced civilization, nice people, no ruling government, and you can live free? You might want to just go. Right? They don't want you to know that there's an option. If that's the case, I could be wrong. Maybe there's nothing out there. How would I know? In the book section, if you go to the book section on the app,
Yep.
and you go to whoops, let me just get that new book we just added. More land. These are books about more land. There's books from the 1800s about more land. Beyond the worlds beyond the pole, right here. The navigator across the ice wall. I love that one. And the Iron Republic. Amazing story. Amazing story. If you go on the app, if you go to the video search, which would be right here,
okay,
and just type in Iron Republic, there's an audio version that you can just listen to.
It's all in one location.
It's all there. Everything's there.
This is great.
Yeah. There's a biblical section on the app.
Okay.
There, which will blow your mind. If you're a Bible believer or you hate the Bible, you need to watch those videos. Either one, it's going to blow your mind. There's a homeschool section. Amazing stuff in there, right? And one of my favorite sections is the old world section. We learn about the old world again. That one will blow you away. My lunch break. Have you heard of him?
I have not. No.
That's
gonna check him out now.
Check him out. He's on every platform. You can just search My Lunch Break,
okay,
or just go on the app here and get the best videos. There's tons and tons and tons of stuff on here that'll blow you away forever. The Lost History of Flat Earth.
Okay.
It's a whole series, but the first video, ready for this? 5 hours. I'm not watching a 5-hour video, right? That's crazy, right? So people, when that first came out years ago, they sent it to me and I said, I don't know, a 5-hour video, get the hell out of here, right? And after a whole bunch of people sent it to me, one day, 11 p.m., I'm cleaning up. And I was like, let me just throw this thing on while I clean up my office here. 5 minutes later, I wasn't cleaning up. Next thing I know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm holding my head going, what the F just happened? What just happened? Right? Then I did my stuff for the day, came back and watched it again. I watched a 5-hour video twice in one day. All right. That one will blow your mind on so many levels that you'll never recover. I don't recommend you watch it until you really get a little deeper into this rabbit hole because it's bottomless.
I might give myself a month or two to dive into some other topics and some other videos first.
All right, before we go, remember flatearthdave.com, get the app, $3 one-time charge, $11 if you want to have some of the higher functions, like if you want to message other people and stuff. It's $11 a year. You buy people shots, around the shots in a bar, that's going to pay for 10 years, okay? So what is your best globe proof? That's what I need to know, because I don't want to be a flat earther anymore. I need one globe proof. By the way, you're a crypto guy. 3 Bitcoins for one globe proof. I pay you 3 Bitcoins if you can come up with one globe proof, exclusive to the globe.
Do I have to do that right now, or can I get back to you
anytime you want?
All right. Fantastic. Then how about this?
Okay.
I'm gonna do some more deep diving here. I got a lot of videos to watch now as well.
Yeah, if
And
you Google, Google's going to feed you a bunch of nonsense,
okay.
right? On my website, flatearthdave.com, scroll down, you'll see interviews, right?
Yep.
Click on that. Watch those interviews, not the ones that Google feeds you, because they're going to feed you stuff that's all just nonsense. Professor Dave, he's not even a professor, he's a failed musician, right? They're going to feed you all of the anti-flat earth agents out there that are propped up by the system. Right. Watch some of my videos. Watch my Roseanne Barr interview. Watch my Jim Brewer interview. Watch me on InfoWars. Watch me on with Peggy Hall, the Healthy American. Watch me on Coast to Coast AM. Watch me on any of these platforms. But you have to take the time and the effort. But here's the beautiful thing is, after you get the gist of it, that's all you're going to want to do. You're going to be, someone's going to be like, hey, watch this flat earth video. You're like, hey, don't tempt me with a good time. Right. Because that's what you're going to want to do, because all the other stuff is nonsense. Right. Again, on the app, last thing, and then I'm going to wrap it up because I can talk
Sounds
forever.
good.
On the more resources page right here, full length videos. If we click that, click. All right. These are documentaries. This one, Flat Earth 21 Questions. That one it's a top 21 questions answered in 3, 4, 5 minutes at a time. Awesome. Flatten the Curve, military whistleblowers, right? One Shot of Redemption, a great 25-minute film. Then Level, the next level, and Level with Me, awesome videos, and I'm in 2 of those, right? So that's not why they're awesome, but that's why they're awesome.
Even better.
Yeah, they're even better. Again, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of videos. Turn off Netflix, watch this, right? $11 a year. Once you start seeing this stuff, you're going to get rid of Netflix. I'm going to save you, what is it, $20 a month?
Yep.
Okay. So every month you get 2 years of subscription.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Right.
Well, Dave, thank you again for joining the show today. Once again, we could have this conversation for 3, 4 more hours, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I really do appreciate the time, and I'm pumped to share this episode with everybody.
Cameron, last thing, the right here every day on the app. This is what I tell people: we're all busy. We got jobs, kids, you got all this shit going on. I say, just when you get up, you're having your tea or coffee, click right here. Every day there's a new featured video. Not an algorithm video, a featured video. Just watch it. During the week, I try to put short ones, longer ones on the weekends, and just watch that one video a day. And if you do that for 2 weeks, you can win the 3 Bitcoins. You have to, before you just start sending me nonsense that I've heard a million times, you have to either watch 2 weeks worth of the featured video or watch the first 5 videos in the crash course on my website. Then send me your proof. But before you do, check the FAQ page. Make sure it's not answered in there, because it is.
Will do. Will do.
All right.
And Dave, just as we leave here, you are not CIA or government affiliated, correct?
If I was, I would say I wasn't, right? So what difference does it make what I say? No, I'm not. I'm not a Freemason. They accuse me of that. I'm not an agent. I'm not anything. And I tell you, don't believe anything I say. I'm pointing to some doors that you were blinded from. Don't sell yourself short, because you're not. You're an incredible, powerful, spiritual, amazing, loving human, and they don't want you to know that.
I love it. Well, Dave, thank you again for the time, and look forward to staying connected.
All right, brother. Thanks.
The Flat Earth Clock app matchmaker just got a new update. Large results will now load super fast, and favorites can now be selected. If you are new to the matchmaker, simply set up your criteria on sex, age ranges, and what radius you want to search from your location. When viewing results, you can quickly add the ones that interest you to favorites by clicking the white heart. After you are done selecting, go back to the main screen at the top. You can see how many favorites you have and access that list by clicking the heart. Check out their profiles and send them a message. You can even do voice or video calls within the app. Invite them to meet for a drink, and you can discuss how the surface of the drink lays flat. That special like-minded person may be closer than you imagine. The Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app, bringing critical thinkers together since 2018. Go to flatearthdave.com and download it today for your iOS or Android devices, and connect with the most amazing people on our beautiful flat Earth.